Good evening, race fans, and welcome back for some exciting Formula One racing action. We are here today for round 8 of the East Coast F1 Championship, the Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. We're ready for some exciting qualifying action here. We got a full grid, 20 drivers, ready to get out on track and see where they can position themselves on the starting grid. Glad to be back in the booth after a crazy Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Quite a few drivers DNF'd. Not too many finished, so we'll see if this Grand Prix will offer the same kind of action. The track is pretty tricky. It has a mix of technical sections and some pretty high-speed sections. The pit straight is quite long. Excellent for overtaking, especially when drivers have the ability to use DRS. You can see on the left side of the screen there are quite a few cars actually heading out on the medium tires, so guys looking right away to get a tire strategy figured out. My grid was actually blocking the picture there. Looks like we got an Alfa Romeo out. That is Yuppie. He is almost ready to start his first hot lap here. As he comes through the final chicane and onto the pit straight, ready to get qualifying underway. Gets that rear wing open for some DRS. Gets through turn 1 and 2 pretty cleanly. Your line through this corner is very important to carry as much speed as possible. He's followed by a couple of the Haas cars by the looks of it there. As he comes through turn 5. In through turn 6 and 7. This is another tricky section, very easy to lose the back end of the car. But looks like he hangs on to it quite well as they get onto the second section of DRS. The next car on a hot lap is the Haas of Soy Loco. As you can see, his teammate coming around the corner there, not too far behind. Yuppie is getting close to some traffic, but he should be okay. Hop back up to him as he comes through the final chicane. This will be the time to beat. Soy Loco setting the first time to lap. That'll be a 1:16.642 as Soy Loco comes around the final corner. 1:17.125, and his teammate Hightower 1:17.812, about 7/10 slower. Some slow cars coming out of the pits. Some more outlaps. I gotta see if I can figure out who's coming around. Here we go. Silent Banshee in the Williams racing car. Looks like he invalidated, so he'll have to take another trip around. Got an Alpine coming around. Dissection on. Oh, who do we got here? Labatt's coming around the final corner. Crossing the line with DRS. Going 5th fastest to the 1:17.838. Dissection looks like he invalidated late, so he'll have to take another trip around as well. Smith Pell diving back into the pits, not liking that lap. Looks like we got Reenan. Ooh. Highways got a little squirrely there. Reenan also invalidating. Labatt's Blues sitting in 6th. Ooh, almost gets in the way there. Fox setting a 1:18.536. Hemi going fastest overall, the 1:16.083 in the AlphaTauri. That is the time to beat, about 6/10 faster than Yuppie. A couple Ferraris coming around. A lot of cars out on track. My apologies not being able to catch everybody. Guitar Maniac and his teammate Niru going 2nd and 3rd fastest overall. Guitar Maniac barely nudging his teammate by 0.05 of a second. Very close. Hemi setting another fastest lap of the 1:15.727. He is flying out there. There's a ton of traffic on track. A lot of cars trying to put in some laps here. I'm thinking this is Hash. Nope, that is Dissection. Needing to take another trip around. Oh yeah, he did invalidate. My apologies. Renan will need to take another outlap as well. He's on the softs. I don't know if he's going to pit. Nope, he'll take another trip around. Houdini looking to improve his time as he comes around the final corner. Gets that wing open. He will bump himself up a place, going 0.3 faster than his previous lap. 1:17.009 for the Magic Man. You can see a Haas coming around. That is Hightower. He's diving into the pits. Either going to try out some new tires or a new setup, possibly. Looks like Niru is trying to get out of the way. He's got, as I said, there's a ton of traffic on track. It is hard to keep an eye on everybody here. You can see an Aston Martin coming around. That'll be Unholy Red Eye. Bumping himself into P11 at the moment. 1:18.547 for the Aston Martin of Unholy Red Eye. Got an Alpine diving into the pits. Lots of cars going to select some new tires. Possibly refuel. You can see a Red Bull coming around. That is Smith Pell just starting his next hot lap. There is an AlphaTauri, or Alfa Romeo. That's Houdini. He is on an in lap. Alright, we got Monkey Mafia setting a purple second sector in the McLaren. He's on pace to bump himself up out of P7 by the looks of it. See if he can hang on to that pace in the final few corners here. As he comes in through the turn 14-15 chicane, almost loses it. I think he lost a little bit of time there. Williams getting a bit of a tow. He does improve. Going 0.6 faster, bumping up into P6. The Williams getting a bit of a tow there, almost making contact. That was Hash on an outlap, I believe. Oh no. Alright, so we got 7 drivers. 8 drivers left to set their hot laps here. Silent Banshee coming around the final corner, ready to start his first timed lap. Smith Pell invalidated on his outlap, unfortunately. So he'll duck back into the pits, probably for a refuel potentially. His teammate Fox in the Red Bull Honda starting his next hot lap in just a second's time. Silent Banshee setting a purple sector 1 in the Williams. So he's got some pace right now. Looks like Owen Wilson coming across the line. He won't improve. Lots of drivers out on track right now. Hash starting his next hot lap. A couple of Haas cars coming across the line. Aston Martin diving into the pits. So we're on board here with Silent Banshee in the Williams Racing. As he comes in through the final chicane. I didn't see if he was up on his time, but just looking at his time as he comes around the final corner onto the pit straight, it's looking good. DRS. And he'll go up into P6, provisional P6 for Silent Banshee and Williams with a 1:16.849. Alright, we got Fox. He's 0.8 up on his time, so he's looking to bump himself up out of P13. He will. He'll go up into P9 on the mediums as well. Alright, we got a Mercedes coming around. That is Jay Kelly. Just starting his first timed lap here. Hopefully he can get around without too much trouble. Alright, Hash looking to set his first timed lap. The Alpine goes third fastest overall with a 1:16.025. As the pair of Haas cars comes across the line, Soy Loco Hightower bumping himself up a few places. Only 500ths shy of his teammate Soy Loco. That's a good showing from the Haas cars today. We'll see if they can't improve before the end of qualifying. We got 7 minutes remaining here in Barcelona. Greenan coming across the line, P17 up into P14 with a 1:17.182. Dissection looks like he'll have to take another trip around as well. Oh, we got some cars off track there. Once again, it's just a shootout to get some timed laps in here. Jay Kelly, great lap in the Mercedes with a 1:16.739 on the mediums. A lot of guys are really trying to get that medium strategy in place here. So that's looking to be probably the strategy that the drivers want to be on. Soy Loco, major improvement on his lap, 8.5 tenths of a second. Very large amount of time here in Formula One racing. P4 for Soy Loco and Haas. Greenan ducking back into the pits. You can see an Alpine coming around. That is Dissection. Diving into the pits here, throw on a new set of tires possibly, or refuel, and head back out on track. Ferrari diving into the pits. Looks like Smith Pell next across the line in the Red Bull Honda P20 to P3. Last year's champion Smith Pell in the Red Bull going third fastest overall, the 1:15.988. 1.5 tenths shy of pole position. Great lap from Smith Pell. Hemi currently sitting in provisional pole with a 1:15.727 on the mediums. Him and Owen Wilson showing some serious pace. They did have to put in a couple laps on those just to get them probably in their temperature window, but nonetheless, starting up in the top of the grid. Detail is on an in lap by the looks of it. He's run out of fuel. There's a Haas coming right behind him here. I don't know if Soy Loco's on a hot lap. Nope. Looks like he's diving into the pits. Alright, I don't know. Detail was just getting those tires warmed up. Looking to get a good time here as we hop on board the Aston Martin as he heads through turn 1 and 2. As I said, this is a very key corner because it's a very high speed one, but if you pick the right line, tends to carry your car towards the outside of the turn. As he sets a purple sector 1, fastest sector 1 of the section, of the session, for Detail and Aston Martin Racing. Very good line through there, hanging onto the car well. As he heads into the second DRS section of the track. Purple sector 2. Detail is flying right now. This is looking very good if he can carry that pace through these final few corners. Detail's looking to put Aston Martin in a great starting position. Coming through the final chicane. Car looks like it's got great traction as he comes around onto the pit straight. DRS 1:17.560. Not what I expected out of Detail. I don't know. He must have lost some serious time in that third sector, unfortunately. Not quite sure what happened, but he'll be looking to improve on that, I think. Alright, Dissection in the Alpine on another flyer. Highway starting his next hot lap in the AlphaTauri. Labatt's on an out lap. Unholy Red Eye on an out lap. Dissection coming up into some traffic by the looks of it, but he should be able to hopefully get by with no issues here. We'll stick on board with Dissection. He's the only driver left to set a time. Good line through here as he heads to the final chicane. Onto the pit straight, full power here. Wing open, Dissection crosses the line, going 11th fastest with a 1:16, 8:45 in the Alpine. Good enough for P12. A lot of cars out on track right now looking to set some final times here. Highways did invalidate, so he'll try to take another trip around and see if he can improve. Yuppie looking to improve out of P11, just starting his next hot lap. I can see a Mercedes coming around. Labatt's is currently 2/10 up on his time. P8, oh, and he won't get there. Sitting P8 for Labatt's. He'll have one more shot at it if he decides to. Unholy Red Eye bumping himself up into P17. Hard to tell where to even start. There's so many cars out on track. Soy Loco getting across the line with 40 seconds remaining. Try to see if I can find any of these guys here. Owen Wilson on an out lap, 30 seconds remaining, just gets across the line in time. Ash ready to start his final hot lap for Alpine. You can see an AlphaTauri coming around. That is Highways. He's currently 2/10 behind, so unfortunately he won't improve. Yuppie bumping himself up into P7 for Alfa Romeo. 1:16, 370 for the Alfa Romeo driver. Smith Pell, he is a little bit faster. Oh, and he goes from P4 to P2 right at the end of qualifying. Bumps Guitar Maniac out of P2. A couple more drivers still out there completing hot laps. Oh, Owen Wilson was in the wall, I think, and crashed his car, unfortunately. Soy Loco bumping himself up one place into P6 with a 1:16, 1:02. Who else we got left on track here? Alright, Silent Banshee won't have enough time to set another hot lap. Monkey Mafia also will not improve. Dissection will not improve. And that'll do it here for the qualifying of the Spanish Grand Prix. Hemi taking pole position with a 1:15.727, followed closely by Smith Pell with a 1:15.795. They'll lock out that front row. And I had my mic muted, my apologies. We are waiting for the drivers to set their final setups here. Some minor adjustments can be made by the teams if they so care to. Fuel loads and such. The bottom 10 drivers will be able to select the tire that they wish to start on. The top 10 will be on the tire they qualified their fastest time in. So, as like every other race, tire strategy plays a huge part. So we'll see which teams can come out ahead. Alright, we are starting the formation lap here as Hemi leads the grid away. Can see a few cars starting to weave, get some heat into those tires. So Hemi starting on the mediums, Owen Wilson on the mediums, and that'll be it. The rest of the top 10 will be on the soft compound. Hightower, Silent Banshee, and Highways opting for the hards to start their first stint of the race. Filled in by quite a few mediums there. Hemi goes wide off track there. Don't know what happened there. Predicted pit stop strategies brought to you by Amazon Web Services. The one-stop medium to hards, or a two-stop medium, soft, medium. In a perfect world, the teams can set their tire strategies as they wish. You know, how they think that the tires will wear as the race goes on. But safety cars definitely can occur here. There's some very easy low traction zones for guys to lose the cars. Hemi doing a little burnout there in the AlphaTauri, getting some heat into those rears. So we'll see just what kind of action we have here in the Spanish Grand Prix Round 8 of the East Coast Formula 1 Championship as they round through the final chicane to get to their spots on the starting grid as we wait for lights out. As the cars get through the final corner there. Alright, as the tension builds, the driver's nerves. Cars slowly get to their spots, and we're going to be waiting for lights out here. Alright, the grid is formed. 1, 2, 3 red lights, and 4 and 5. And it's lights out and away we go. Fox getting a drive-through penalty for jump starting, unfortunately, right off the bat. Lots of weaving going on as the cars head in through turn 1. Smith Pell looking down the inside, but won't quite get there. Oh, we got a Haas by the looks of it off track. Fox, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Must have... I don't know what's happening with Fox here, unfortunately. Owen Wilson looking down the inside of the Smith Pell in the Red Bull. And he gets onto the grass, losing some traction there. Oh, we got a virtual safety car already. I'm assuming due to Fox being stopped on track here. He's having some issues. Fox getting disqualified. Highways ignoring the yellow flag. Must have passed somebody under the VSC. A little bit of chaos right off the start here. I don't know exactly what happened as the... Oh, Unholy Red Eye snagging a drive-through penalty. That is a bad penalty to take, unfortunately. Aston Martin will be looking to hopefully get back from that one. We got a spun Alpine of dissection. It looks like... Oh, and he can't get his car moving either. And dissection gets disqualified. We must have had some cars take some damage on lap 1 potentially. We're immediately swapping tire strategies as some cars decided to dive into the pits there. Yuppie getting a tire change quick on some new softs. Alright, so Hemi currently leading. We just got a little bit of issue with the timing board there, but I'm sure that'll get worked out. Alright, Monkey Mafia right on the tail of Hightower. He's on the quicker compound, so he may be able to make this pass stick, no problem here. Yuppie hunting down the Mercedes. Owen Wilson taking the fastest lap there. We got a drag race going down into turn 1. DRS is enabled. Owen Wilson just a little bit ahead into the braking zone of Guitar Maniac, and he'll take P3. Oh no, and Reenan. Oh no, Reenan crashed. Headed into the pits. That is a McLaren out. Monkey Mafia's teammate. Oh no, and Soy Loco spun. He lost it in the Haas, missing his entire front wing. Oh no! Almost gets hit by Detail. Very surprising we haven't had a full safety car. As the drivers prepare to go green again. We are 3 laps into the Spanish Grand Prix, and we're 3 drivers down. Hightower taking a drive-through penalty as well as we go green again. That is a very damaging penalty. Oh, and Smith Pell taking DRS. Doesn't quite get there. Owen Wilson right on the gearbox of Smith Pell. Owen Wilson going wide. Oh no, and Soy Loco retired as well. Looks like Soy Loco lost it going into the pits as well. As we'll hop on board here with Silent Banshee quick to see if we can see the aftermath. Oh, I don't know what... Oh, I think Soy Loco must have hit the pit wall and lost it, unfortunately. Labatt's having some unfortunate need for a pit stop. As we've had a lot of chaos here in the opening laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. Alright, we got a bit of a DRS train going here. Smith Pell looking to hunt down Hemi. Close that gap up a little bit on the pit straight. He won't quite catch him, but he will get a little bit closer as Owen Wilson tries to stay within that gap as well. Highways with a 3-second time penalty, exceeding track limits. Unfortunately, yeah, dissection, as we saw him earlier there, the car got hung up on a curb and wasn't able to get off of it. These cars are very low and it does tend to happen, unfortunately. Owen Wilson taking P2 from Smith Pell. Really putting the pressure on. Smith Pell keeping it clean, just hanging in there. The gaps have opened up quite a bit on track. Hemi and Owen Wilson in a fastest lap battle. Owen Wilson taking the lead right now at the 1:18.639 in the Williams Racing. They're both on the medium tires, showing some good pace. Jake Kelly right on the gearbox of Niru here as he goes a little bit wide, as does Niru. That'll open up that gap ever so slightly. The chase is on. Jake Kelly looking to move Mercedes up into P5. The pair of Ferraris sitting P4 and P5. As Jake Kelly will have DRS here. It's a quite short straight, but it'll at least allow him to close up that gap a little bit. As they near the chicane leading on to the pit straight here. Hemi taking fastest lap away from Owen Wilson, the 1:18.430. Will hang out on board here with Jake Kelly as he gets DRS. Will he have enough? He's burning up his electrical energy as well. He won't quite catch Niru. Niru gained a little bit on him in the third sector. He's sticking within that half a second, 3/4 of a second gap from Niru. Niru doing a good job of holding him off. Oh no! Labatt's Blues in the Mercedes. Lost it coming through that section and into the wall. We have a full-fledged safety car. So this is definitely going to change some tire strategies for drivers. Hemi currently leading the Grand Prix here, 7 laps in as he dives into the pits. Owen Wilson right behind him. Smith Pell, Guitar Maniac, Niru, Jay Kelly. We'll quickly hop over here with the AlphaTauri, swap into another set of mediums. So it's looking like Hemi is going to go... Oh no, Detail snagging a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Major penalty to take. Probably one of the worst ones that you can get in Formula One. I mean, it's hard to say, but it's probably roughly a 20 to 30 second penalty as you drive through the pit lane. Cannot swap tires. So essentially it's a useless pit stop, I guess you could say. So a major penalty there. Detail has a drive-through. Highways currently with a 3-second penalty. The only penalties of the grid right now. Quick recap. Hemi sitting in P1. Owen Wilson right behind him in the Williams. Smith Pell currently sitting P3. Guitar Maniac P4 in the Ferrari. Jay Kelly sitting in 5th. The Ferrari of Niru sitting in P6. Alfa Romeo of Houdini in P7. Hash sitting in P8. 9th is Monkey Mafia. 10th, Detail. 11th is Hightower in the Haas. Aston Martin of Unholy Red Eye sitting in P12. 13th is the Williams of Silent Banshee. 14th, Highways in the AlphaTauri. And Yuppie rounding out the grid right now in P15. We had practically, well, I would say about 3/4 of the grid looks like they pitted. Hash decided to stay on his hards. Hightower also opted to stay out, as did Unholy Red Eye, Silent Banshee, and Highways. Interesting strategy. It's hard to say if they were just trying to make up positions or not. I mean, it's essentially a free pit stop when a safety car comes out. But that is also an opportunity to make up some spots, so we'll see what happens. A lot of the top drivers, or the top 10 anyways, 9 out of 10 decided to stop in the pits for some brand new tires, mostly on the mediums. Owen Wilson opting for the hard, so it looks like he's going for potentially a one-stop. Looking to see if he can outlast the rest of the drivers here. Hemi started on the mediums, went to the mediums on this pit stop, so he will have to pit at least one more time to avoid a penalty. So we'll see if he decides to do that or not. Alright, the safety car is in this lap. Race control confirmed. So we're ready to go green here. Hemi, as he sets the pace for the grid. Everybody trying to warm up them tires. Luckily, no lapped drivers. As Hemi comes through the final chicane. And immediately gets on the gas, trying to open up that gap to Owen Wilson. And we're racing. Oh, looks like Jake Kelly is trying to get a draft there. Hash making up a spot on Houdini. Jake Kelly and Niru going wheel to wheel here through turn 2. Neither driver is giving up here. Looks like Niru might, oh maybe not, I thought he was going to edge him out here. Jake Kelly squeezes it. And he'll take P5. Oh no! Jake Kelly loses it. Oh, majorly unfortunate for Mercedes, as both of their cars have crashed here in the Spanish Grand Prix. No safety car. As they clean up the Mercedes off track there. Ah, what an unfortunate day for Mercedes racing. Detail serving his drive-through penalty here. Oh, the uppie taking over P12 from Highways down that pit straight. Monkey Mafia currently sitting in P8, hunting down the Alfa Romeo of Houdini. He's closing up the gap ever so slowly. As long as he maintains this gap through the third sector here, he will have DRS. I guess on the next lap, my apologies. He's keeping it around 5 or 6 tenths of a second as we come around to start lap 12. Hemi setting the fastest lap of the session with a 1:18.290, about 2 tenths faster than his previous. Race control has re-enabled DRS. Unholy Red Eye only 3 tenths back of Hightower in the Haas, looking to make a move into turn 1 as they go wheel to wheel, and Hightower concedes the position. Unholy Red Eye bumping up into P9 for Aston Martin Racing. Silent Banshee putting the pressure on with the Williams as he looks down the inside. Hightower will edge him out just so slightly. Silent Banshee looking to keep this close gap here going into this DRS section on the back portion of the track here. Right on the gearbox of Hightower here. Hightower had to slow down a bit to keep those hards from losing the grip. Silent Banshee will wait. Hightower going a little wide. Looks like Silent Banshee's looking to get some DRS down the pit straight. Hemi still improving, 118, 181 on those fresh medium tires. I'm assuming the track temp has risen a little bit, making them a little bit more sticky. He's finding all the pace he can out of those tires. And the AlphaTauri Honda. Silent Banshee making a move on Hightower, getting the absolute most out of the slipstream, narrowly missing the back end of the Haas, as the Yuppie is also looking to make a move on Hightower. Hemi with a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. He'll have to make sure he keeps opening that gap further and further as the session goes along. Yuppie looking to, oh no, Hightower either disconnected or is having some internet issues by the looks of it here. Highway is running a little wide out of the hairpin. Hash looks like he's hunting down the Ferrari and Niru. Those top 4 cars all have DRS there. The pair of Ferraris sitting in P4 and 5. Oh, looks like the Yuppie used the advantage of the DRS down that long pit straight, making himself up 1 position into P11 for Alfa Romeo Racing. Gaps are sitting fairly close here through P5 and 6. Guitar Maniac falling out of DRS range on Smith Pell. Smith Pell opening up that gap a little bit. Hash sitting right on the gearbox of Niru here. Niru's got to stay within that 1 second mark of his teammate if he wants to not get passed on the pit straight. Owen Wilson with a 3-second time penalty. That changes things up in the P1 and 2 battle here. Niru and Hash both getting DRS. So not making it easy for Hash to gain a position here. Owen Wilson currently sitting 4.2 seconds back of the lead. The major thing is, though, how long can Owen Wilson make those hards last, as Hemi will have to pit stop at least 1 more time for a tire change, either to the softs or the the hards. I imagine he'll try to stretch these and throw in a set of softs to finish out his final stint. Unholy Red Eye taking a 3-second time penalty in the Aston Martin. Niru and Hash closing in on Guitar Maniac a little bit here. Guitar Maniac also closed up that gap to Smith Pell about 2 or 3 tenths, so he's also within DRS range as they get onto the long pit straight here in front of the grandstands as those rear wings open. And they fly down into turn. Oh no, Unholy Red Eye. We have a safety car. Oh no, Unholy Red Eye lost it around the final turn out of the chicane and hit the wall. That'll do it for one of the Aston Martin cars. Highways in the pit for some used hards. So maybe he'll be looking to push those to the end. Alright, so that'll close up the gap here. The field will bunch up again. So that's eliminating the lead that Hemi had built. Although he could pit, which he is right now, only losing a couple positions. I imagine he'll be going on to a brand new set of hards. Owen Wilson also pitting. As I suspected, brand new set of hards for Hemi. The pair of Ferraris and Hash opting to stay out of the pits and gain those positions. So Hemi will definitely be looking to send those tires to the end of the race here. We've got 16 laps roughly. Guitar Maniac ignoring yellow flag. Oh no, he passed the safety car, I believe. If I saw that correctly on the map, he passed the safety car and was disqualified from the session. We started with 20 and only 12 remain here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Some crazy disqualifications, a few crashes. Some crazy racing, to say the least. I imagine we'll have one more lap at least under the safety car, as I see that they haven't bunched up quite yet. Niru currently sitting in the lead, Hash in P2, Hemi sitting P3 after opting for the brand new hards here to finish out the race. Hightower currently sitting on 16 laps. Oh man, and Hemi almost loses it there, getting a little happy with the skinny pedal. So the tires could definitely last this long. Hightower opting to stay out. That is a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how that plays out for him here. I would have definitely pitted, I think. But we'll see what kind of strategy the Haas engineers are looking to perform here. Owen Wilson currently sitting P6, brand new mediums. Houdini P7, Monkey Mafia P8, P9 is detailed in the Aston Martin. Yuppie sitting P10, Silent Banshee P11, and Highways rounding out the grid in P12 in the AlphaTauri. All right, we are through turn 4 and 5 here. As we head into the second sector, I do imagine race control will bring the safety car in this lap as the grid has bunched up. And we'll get ready to go green again. Race control has confirmed safety cars in this lap. The lights are off. And Niru can set the pace, but he is right on the bumper of the safety car. The safety car does have to be in the pits before you can pass it. I don't know if Niru's been in this position before. He's sticking very close. There he goes. Now he's backing the grid up a little bit here. Trying to play a little bit of cat and mouse. Ash getting nice and close. There he goes. Niru puts the pedal to the metal. Hightower has to give the position back. So we got a drag race headed down into turn 1. Monkey Mafia and Houdini in a drag race, wheel to wheel. Oh, Houdini goes through the inside. Cuts the corner. Monkey Mafia will take the position back. I don't know if that caused any damage to the wing of Monkey Mafia as the Alfa Romeo come across the front of him. But he looks to be hanging on just fine here. Yuppie making up a position on Detail. We got a three-way battle going here. Silent Banshee going around the outside of Detail as they go wheel to wheel in this uphill section. They're locked in. Banshee coming out ahead. Some of the tires look to be a little bit cold here. Guys are taking it easy. Highways was looking down the inside of Detail there, but couldn't quite get the move done. Hemi's right on the gearbox of Hash and the Alpine. Looking to get that slipstream here down the pit straight. Owen Wilson closing in on Smith Pell, using up that ERS. As he'll take P4 heading into turn 1. Oh, and Hemi gets by Hash. I missed it. Hemi getting up into P2. Hash's tires have got to be significantly worn. Hightower also 19 lap old hard, so Hemi can definitely push these till the end of the race. 13 laps remaining. As the cars head in through this uphill section into the second DRS zone. Silent Banshee looking to get a spot from Houdini here. Won't quite get it done. Houdini is just inside that DRS time. If he can stay there, it'll work perfect. If not, Silent Banshee will have a huge advantage down the pit straight. DRS is enabled. Silent Banshee had a great exit out of the final corner, making up a spot on Houdini as they head into turn 1. Doing some good defending there. Detail also got the Alfa Romeo in his sights. Owen Wilson currently with a 3-second time penalty, about 3/10 back on Hash. Owen Wilson does have the tire advantage right now as they head into the DRS zone. Hash will also have DRS. Owen Wilson had a slightly better exit there. He's using up all of his ERS. Late break. Oh, and they touch tires. Oh no, some more contact. What a battle here between Hash and Owen Wilson. There's an old saying, bumping is racing. And we saw some evidence of that there. We had a little three-way battle here going between P6 and 8. As we'll have a little DRS train going here. Monkey Mafia weaving to the inside, trying to break that slipstream as he's outside of DRS range. So Hightower will close that gap up a little bit to the P6 McLaren. Won't quite get it done, so he'll set himself up for a move later on. Oh, it looks like we've got a spun Williams and missing the entire front of his wing there. And we got a safety car. That brought out a safety car. Must have been a little too much debris on track, having to get the Marshall team out there. Silent Banshee will have a hard time getting the Williams back around to the pits. But at least he won't lose too much time, as he'll be allowed to bump up into the back of the grid once more. So I believe that is the third safety car here of the Spanish Grand Prix. Nothing short of some exciting racing here this evening. Niru currently still holding on to the lead. Hemi sitting right behind him, also diving into the pits as well. Owen Wilson deciding to stay out, as did Hash. Very surprisingly, Hash had a free pit stop and still decided to stay out. Hemi opting for brand new softs with 10 laps to go. Not a bad idea. Niru also pitting for brand new softs. Very interesting that Hash didn't come in. Hightower held out, kept those hards till the bitter end, and coming out in P9 on a brand new set of mediums to finish out his stint. The Williams having a new front end on and some brand new softs. A lot of soft tires here during this safety car. Highway's opting to stay out, sitting in P6. But I'm focusing on Hash. A very bold strategy to stick out on those tires. I don't know if he's hoping for another safety car, but I think that would have been the optimal time to pit. Those tires have got to be nearing their bitter end here. I imagine that the grip has significantly fallen off, but I could be wrong. Maybe he's channeling his inner Checo and maintaining the grip on those tires better than one might expect. Owen Wilson taking the lead in the Williams. 5-lap-old mediums. So we'll see if he can push those till the end. Everyone trying to get some heat into their tires here. Highway's deciding to go into the pits and get rid of his hard compound tires. Alright, so currently, after 7 rounds of racing, Owen Wilson is currently sitting in P1 in the Drivers' Championship, followed by Murph Selly in the Alfa Romeo and Detail in the Aston Martin. A 19-point deficit Owen Wilson has to P2 in the Drivers' standings. In the Constructors' Championship, Alfa Romeo currently leading with 221 points, and in second place is Haas with 178. Unfortunately, do have one car DNF'd of Unholy Red Eye. Or sorry, Soy Loco, my apologies. Race control showing safety car is in this lap, so we're ready to go green. Yuppie and Houdini looking to extend their lead in the constructors. So we'll see what happens here shortly as Owen Wilson lets the safety car get into the pit lane. We'll hop on board with him. As he gets the hammer down, gets a good jump on Hash. Very great restart from the Williams. As they head through turn 1. Oh, looks like Hemi made up a spot. Getting into some traffic here, Monkey Mafia. Losing a spot to Yuppie. Niru right on the gearbox in there too. He wants in on the action. Niru wheel to wheel with Monkey Mafia. Hemi went down the inside of Yuppie and he'll get up into P4. Niru getting by Monkey Mafia, but Monkey Mafia not giving up too easy. Late break, switch back from Niru. And he'll come out ahead. Fantastic move by Niru. Optimizing on that late break of Monkey Mafia. Great move by the Ferrari. Unfortunately, Monkey Mafia couldn't defend. But he won't be giving up too easy. He'll be looking to get that position back. Owen Wilson jumping out to a 1.3 second lead over Hash. Hash on 20 lap old hards. We'll see how long he can hold off the Red Bull of Smith Pell. Hemi right on the gearbox of the Red Bull. Ooh, as he looks down the inside, he won't quite get there. Smith Pell going a little deep. I think Hemi's going to have the better line here as he tries not to touch. Smith Pell wasn't giving up too easy, but Hemi will take over P3 for the time being. We've got about 7 laps remaining here in Barcelona. What a fantastic race we've had so far. Some pretty close gaps here. As you can see, Monkey Mafia looking to get back into P6. Details sitting in P9 in the Aston Martin. Quite a few brand new tires here on the grid. Which, as I said before, the pit stop strategy makes a huge difference. Hemi setting the fastest lap, 1:17.574, which I believe is about 6 or 7 tenths faster than his previous fastest lap. Niru made up a spot on Yuppie there. Hemi is right on the back of Hash here. Hash doing a good job on those tires. Oh no, Monkey Mafia lost it. Coming out of turn 3. Oh no, Hemi with a 5-second penalty for colliding with Hash just as the safety car flags came out. Oh, that is devastating to Hemi's race. With roughly 6 laps remaining. Hemi's got a total of 8 seconds of penalties. 3 seconds earlier for exceeding track limits and another 5 for a safety car collision. Hemi's got some... Ooh, and it looks like some more contact there potentially. Hemi's ducking into the pits here. Owen Wilson staying out. Hash also staying out. He's really looking to hang on to those hards for the rest of the race here. Hightower serving that 5-second, getting rid of it here. Brand new set of softs, fresh out of the blankets. Monkey Mafia getting a brand new set of softs as well, and a new front wing. Alright, so we'll take another look at the penalties here. Owen Wilson, the current leader, sitting there with 3 seconds. Highways with a total of 6 seconds. And Hemi with 3 seconds of penalties in the AlphaTauri. So he'll be looking for a last-ditch effort, a 5-lap sprint from P11 to as high up the grid as he can get. He'll get those tires nice and warmed up. Ready to make his dash. I imagine we'll have just one more lap under the safety car as Monkey Mafia comes up to the back of the grid as the cars exit the final chicane. So the cars will start racing again on lap 30, so we'll have 4 laps of racing under the green. And that'll be the grid's last-ditch effort to gain some places here. I had some doubts about Hash and the length of time he's running those hard tires, but he is holding them together. Smith Pell back up into 3rd position as Hemi dove into the pits. Niru sitting P4, P5 is the Alfa Romeo of Yuppie. Hightower sitting in P6, Detail P7, Houdini in P8, Silent Banshee P9, Highways in P10 in the AlphaTauri, followed by his teammate Hemi, and Monkey Mafia rounding out the 12 cars remaining here in the Spanish Grand Prix. We should... Alright, the lights are off. Race control is confirmed that safety car is in this lap. We'll have 4 laps of racing left here. It is going to be an all-out shootout for the final grid positions here. Curious to see what happens. Hash is excited to get going here, trying to keep some life and heat in those hard tires. We'll hop back on board here with the leader, Owen Wilson. Same kind of restart as last time. Hash not letting him jump out as far as he did the first time. He knows his tricks. Niru sticking nice and close there to Smith Pell as they head down into turn 1. Alright, Hemi making up 1 spot so far on his teammate. Oh no, and Monkey Mafia lost it. Coming out of turn 1, I think got too much of that inside curb. It does tend to grab the cars. Oh man, Hemi down the inside of Silent Banshee and the Williams. Hemi is on a push. Hemi's got his mission and he is pushing hard to try and accomplish that. To gain some positions back. He was... Oh no! And Highways completely loses it there in the background. Monkey Mafia lost it as well. Hemi making up a spot on Houdini. 2 more cars on the safety car restart. Out of the race, 10 drivers remain. Being this late in the race, it looks like we have 0 safety cars. Hemi still improving his time, 1:17.474. Oh, and Hemi gaining another time penalty. That's 6 seconds total for the AlphaTauri. As he moves up into P7, getting by detail. Hemi's on a mission here. We got 2 laps remaining. Making up another position. Hash hanging on to P2 very well. Only 8/10 back of the leader. That is some very impressive tire conserving. Nero taking a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits here. Smith Pell trying to hang on to that podium position. Detail going around the outside of Hightower, moving up into P7 with Houdini right on his gearbox. Oh, Hemi down the inside of Yuppie, a bit of contact there. Hemi's got his elbows out, looking to make up some time here. Hash with a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That really helps out Smith Pell. Nero is pushing hard. It's going to come down to penalties here at the end of the race. What have we got? We got 3 seconds between first and second position. Nero with a 3-second time penalty, and Hemi with 6 seconds. Smith Pell, if he can keep this gap, I'm not even going to keep going, knock on wood here. As we start the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix, Owen Wilson in the lead, Hash in second, third Smith Pell, fourth Nero, fifth Hemi, P6 is Yuppie trying to break the slipstream as Detail goes up the outside. Oh, I don't know if there was contact there. Yuppie looked like he lost it, and he'll lose a couple positions. Houdini spins around. Absolute pandemonium here in the final laps. Oh, Nero is still pushing. Smith Pell is losing outside that 3-second gap. He needs to close that up. Nero really needs to push here. Or Smith Pell, sorry. Smith Pell needs to close that gap. He's going to move up, but if he can get within that 3-second frame of Owen Wilson, he'll steal the podium away. It is coming down to the wire as Smith Pell exits the final chicane. Or Owen Wilson, sorry, I am all mixed up. The Williams crosses the line in P1, P2 Hash. Oh, and Smith Pell will take second position from Hash. Detail up into P4, P5 Nero. Hightower in 6th. Yuppie P7. P8 goes to Silent Banshee. P9 Hemi. And Houdini comes across the line in 10th position. What a crazy race here in Barcelona. The Driver of the Day award voted goes to Detail in the Aston Martin. Owen Wilson hangs on to the race win. Smith Pell bumping himself up into P2. And Hash racing those hards, giving it his absolute all, will hang on to P3. What an absolute crazy race. Unbelievable. The win going to the Williams of Owen Wilson. P2 is Smith Pell. P3 is Hash, rounding out the top three for the podium. Detail taking P4 for Aston Martin and Driver of the Day award. Niru will go 5th fastest. P6 goes to Hightower. The Yuppie taking P7 for Alfa Romeo. P8 going to Silent Banshee in the Williams, so a good day for Williams in the points. P9 going to Hemi in the AlphaTauri, and Houdini rounding out the top 10 and the only 10 finishing the race. Some good points for Alfa Romeo as well. The fastest lap going to Hemi in the AlphaTauri, the 1:17.474. And the remaining 11 drivers unfortunately did not finish the race. There is a possibility the AlphaTauri of Highways and the McLaren of Monkey Mafia may still get points due to the 90% rule. So we'll see what happens there. I'll see if I can't get some drivers in here. Absolute craziness. Unbelievable race today. I'll wait a few more seconds and see if any of the drivers are able to join us. It was an absolute shootout to the end, to say the least. Hemi, unfortunately, although making some huge passes, mounting his last-second battle, just couldn't quite do it based on penalties, unfortunately. Smith Pell bumped himself up into P2. Hash taking the third step of the podium. Stretching those tires, those hard tires out for a long time. As I said before, channeling his inner Checo. But it looks like the drivers are unavailable for a press interview at this time. So that'll round out the 8th installment of the East Coast Formula One Championship, the Spanish Grand Prix. As we conclude the session, we are going to be... We're going to be in Japan next week for the Japanese Grand Prix, which, unfortunately, for Yuki Tsunoda, was cancelled today on the actual Formula One calendar. So we won't get that epic track battle that we've seen in the past with Prost and Senna and other greats, obviously. But we do have Smith Pell actually just joined us in the nick of time here. The second place Red Bull. Congratulations on the second step of the podium there, just snagging it at the finish line. Give us a breakdown of your race.
Well, there's a shit ton of safety cars, so just try not to be the one that caused it was probably the biggest thing. But yeah, just trying to monitor the strategy and not have penalties. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I picked up one spot on hash, but I almost got the win just on penalties. And I don't think my pace was that good. I think it was just that so many safety cars kept me in it. So yeah, I really was just trying to stay out of the shit. So I think I at least did that.
No, it definitely paid off at the end there. You were so close. I didn't see the final gap, but you had to have only been a couple to a few tenths outside of taking the win.
Yeah, and when I was coming down the main straight to start my last lap, I think I was about 2/10 under. I think it was like 2.8 the gap was or something like that.
You were right there.
Yeah, and I looked up and Hash didn't have a penalty until maybe the second last lap or something. But all of a sudden I'm like, shit, I might be able to, if I put in a good lap here. And then Nero came down my left, so I had to defend against Nero into turn one. And just battling takes, costs you a lot of time, obviously. So basically right out of turn 2-3 there, I think I was already down to outside of the 3 seconds, and I just couldn't get it back throughout the lap. But it was pretty close.
It was definitely a good battle to watch. Yeah, you almost had the win, but I mean, bumping up into P2, that's some extra points. And
hey, I'll take it after 3 DNFs in a row.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, yeah, craziness with all the safety cars, and I mean, that definitely played out as far as the strategy goes. A lot of pit stops for some of the guys there, and I was actually quite surprised Hash ran those tires for 25 laps, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when I checked it earlier, I mean, it was like 3 safety cars before the end of the race, but I remember checking, thinking, okay, he's probably gonna have to pit again. He might be able to go to the end, but for me, fresh mediums, I should be able to get him. But he had really good pace on him, and to be honest, I didn't think I had very good pace the whole race. I thought I was just kind of in the right place, and never really fell back the order far enough to be out of it. So I don't know if I got this because of my pace. I think I just didn't get penalties and didn't crash. So, but I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely that strategy panned out for you, obviously.
Yeah, some days it works. Some days you finish 10th when you do that. But yeah, it ended up working out okay.
Certainly. Well, thanks for joining us, Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Of course. You too.
See ya.
That was Smith Pell. Second step of the podium for Red Bull. Some great points. Obviously, the strategy that he was on worked out for him. But yeah, congrats to all the drivers today. Craziness. Only 10 remained at the end. Checkered flag. So yeah, we'll be back in action next Wednesday. Same time, same place for the Japanese Grand Prix. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you later.